Welcome to a new episode of Ain't Got Time to Read, the place where I read a story, give you a breakdown of the plot, and simply save you time. Now, before we continue, here is your spoiler alert. If you have not read the story I'm about to discuss and you do plan to read it, then you may want to avoid this video or watch it at a later date. So that being said, let's dig into the plot of today's story. The story begins with an intern at a state psychopathic institution remembering the day that a man named Joe Slater was brought into the institution. Joe Slater appeared to be from the Catsell Mountain region. Slater is seen as having a low intellect and estimated to be around the age of 40. He appeared to be harmless, but 4 state policemen brought him into the institution and warned them that the man was dangerous. From his medical and court documents, it stated that Joe Slater was known for talking to others about bizarre and wild things which scared them as well as himself. Hours later, he would have no memory of the bizarre things he discussed. Joe Slater was arrested after he had woken from a drunken slumber and ran out into the snow screaming at the sky such things as he would jump high in the air and burn through anything that tried to stop him. 2 men tried to calm him down, but one of them was knocked out with a solid blow from Joe Slater. The other was not so lucky. Joe Slater attacked him and beat him to a bloody pulp before fleeing into the woods and being arrested 3 days later. When he was questioned, he had no recollection of the event. He remembered drinking and found himself stood over the bloody corpse of his neighbour. On his 3rd night at the institute, Joe Slater wakes up in a frenzy and has to be restrained by 4 men that put him in a straitjacket. They watch as Joe Slater rants for 15 minutes about great edifices of light, oceans of space, strange music and shadowy mountains and alleys. He also mentions a mysterious blazing entity that shook and laughed and mocked at him. This entity had wronged Joe Slater some way and he wanted his revenge. When Joe snapped out of his rage, he questioned why he was in a straitjacket. He admitted the following night that sometimes he spoke about strange things and didn't know why. After several more weeks and many more outbursts, the institute came to the conclusion that there was no way he was intelligent enough to have learnt or heard fairy tales that would explain the bizarre things that Slater spoke of, and decided that it was caused by his dreams. He was later tried for murder and acquitted on the ground of insanity and continued to be held in the institute. Fascinated by the outbursts of Slater, the intern finds some old apparatus that he had worked on during his college years. The apparatus was intended to transfer thoughts, which it had failed to do at college. The intern fixes the apparatus and makes a few tweaks and starts to use the device on Joe Slater and annoyingly gets no results. Eventually, Joe Slater became weak and fell closer to death. He was not ill and his body appeared to be giving up on him. The intern could see that Slater did not have long left to live and placed the apparatus on both of their heads. The intern nodded off and then awoke to strange maladies. He finds himself in an ethereal form, witnessing beautiful structures, valleys and mountains. They are the most beautiful sights that the intern has ever seen. He is joined by another light being, and they travel across the cosmos for some time before they feel themselves being drawn back to their bodies on Earth. The intern awakes along with Slater. His apparatus begins to work, and he is spoken to by the light being that had resided inside Joe Slater. He is told that one day they will meet again, and that the intern should look towards the star known as Algol, and he will see Slater's spirit being finally defeating his nemesis. That night, a new star is discovered, not far from Algol. It had never been seen before. Within 24 hours, it became so bright that it outshone Capella. Within a few weeks, it had dimmed, and after several months, it was no longer seen by the naked eye. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you with the next video.